Hello, and welcome to my new house. Yeah, that's where we are. Uh, in a nutshell, this move has not been as stressful as the last one, or as emotionally taxing. As I've been telling people, when we left our apartment in the city to move out to where we did, it was very sad, and I was like crying, bawling my eyes out literally on the day that we left, and very sad for weeks afterwards, because basically, because someone decided to sell the apartment, as you know, that's renting. My entire life changed. The life that I thought I had in my little fist. I was a city girl, and everything was fun and cool, and I was cool. And unfortunately, that's renting, and you know, you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And then when after we moved into that place, I I'm not depressed, but like I went through some sort of funk. Right? Dyed my hair black. Very unlike me, even though I have had black hair before, but like it's rare that I do. Dyed my hair black like consistently on and off for like 6 to 8 months. Changed the way I dressed because 100% honest, I was living in fear of living in the suburbs because people like this don't exist in at least the outer suburbs. Within the first week of moving to that place, I was still wearing like my normal clothes, which was like all pink, of course. And I'm like wearing my little pink Crocs, which are to me very cool and very cute because they're platforms. And we wore them to go to a shopping center on a Thursday night because we were bored. There was nothing to do, and it was like 5 minutes from where we lived. And we were like, "Well, let's go to Kmart. I'm bored." And some fucking random man just started yelling at me because I'm wearing pink Crocs, like of all things. So on top of having experienced being screamed and spat at a tram stop nearby a year before, nearby to where I was currently living. Needless to say, I was quite terrified of living in the outer suburbs again. And, oh, Shelby sent me a snap. I was quite terrified. And I didn't want to be there because I'm not an outer suburbs girl. Yeah, so I changed. As we do, you move through life and you have to change. And I was very sad. Changed how I looked, changed how I dressed. So I was in that mood for about 6 to 8 months because I was like, we're in this horrible place. I don't like where I live. I hate where I live. The house. There's nothing out here. It's boring. It took over an hour to get to the city or anywhere, mind you. The worst part about living where we did is that I had to go through Reservoir, which, if you know, you know, it's full of like crazy crackheads, especially on the tram line that I was on. And so it was like, do I risk potentially my life to dress comfortably in the way that I enjoy? Or do I dull it down enough so that I blend in? And so I did that for a while because sometimes you just have to do it. And it's occasionally circling back to that maybe once every 5 or 10 years is a bit of an eye opener. And at the time, it showed me that I can change to, depend on where I am. But towards the end of us being there, I realized it's getting closer and closer to us leaving, and we're not going to be here anymore. I'm almost out of the hole. Like, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then I decided to start vision boarding, and I was in a better place mentally. Still changing my hair every 5 minutes. Let's talk about that later. Let's bookmark that. And then, I was on the up, and I think come the end of the year and the start of this year, I had some like goals in a list that I wanted to achieve, and at this point, right now, I have achieved all of them, and I'm really, really, really happy about it. Perspective changes a lot of things, but then sometimes people have falling outs and beef. If you know, you know. And so anyway, we had some issues. I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed, I think, with the year to come and the fact that we were still where we were. So I kind of hibernated socially for a few months. But anyway, fast forward to now. Everything looks like, what is it? Is it Lisa Frank? This painting with the dolphins, with that song. I'm much happier. Much happier. I love where we live, even though it is a little strange. There's funky Basil, hey. He's scratching the carpet. There are some funky sounding birds. There's some very strange neighbours behind us. And, some other things. But I really like where we live. It's very nice. It's only like a 10-15 minute train ride from the city, and everything has changed for the better, and I'm really happy. In regards to probably the last clips of me at the old house, basically ranting at the camera about the holes in the ceiling, we still haven't heard from the real estate. It is only Tuesday, and Friday was a public holiday, is when I was doing that. So I'm not expecting to hear from them immediately, because they probably just haven't looked yet. So we're still figuring that out. But yeah, happy with where we are right now. Circling back to like the hair comment before, I realized, I think I've said it in past videos anyway, that like it's me changing my hair all the time is linked to trauma and blah, 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 blah. It is essentially a mood ring for how I'm doing mentally, which I think I've also said, but I realized the same thing a lot later on. But I've also realized that I think in the last video I posted, I spoke about mania, and I think I've realized that me changing my hair so much also, I think tends to happen when I'm in a manic episode, which can last days to weeks to months at a time. I think, ironically, sometimes it's when I'm going through a stage of growth. Sometimes it just is brought on by really random things. But yes, I've noticed through my little like hair lists, looking at, oh my god, I sound like Lydia. Looking at it now, currently, this really cute pastel pink, I've had this for like 7 weeks. No desire to change it. I bleached my roots when they grew out and stayed the same color. I do not think I am currently going through a manic episode, because I'm very happy with where we live. Nothing is going wrong and everything is fine. I think in the last year, having, that really big change, moving to somewhere we didn't like, having basically my life ripped away from me because someone sold the apartment. Looking back, no big deal. It's life. things happen. But in the moment, I think it was extremely stressful to the point where it had, triggered a manic episode. And so I was changing constantly, was had kind of lost sight of who I was and who I felt like. And I think I wouldn't say it clouds my vision, but Basil's talking to me. It scrambles my brain a little bit to where I'm like, what do I really want? Not what do I really want, but it scrambles my brain a bit to where I have this constant need for, I guess, changing my image, I suppose, to deal with crazy thoughts. And for the most part, it was fine. Also, I am just growing my hair out now because I'm genuinely sick of having a buzz cut and genuinely sick of changing my hair. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm just over it. And, like, I changed my hair like 52 times last year, or maybe something like that. No, that's the amount of weeks in a year. I think it was like 47 times. Basil's having zoomies. But yeah, I changed my hair a lot last year, and I've still changed it a lot this year because I still think I was going through maybe the end of a manic episode, and I stopped changing my hair because I'm sick of it. I think I said that in the last video. I originally buzzed my hair off, I think, in December of 2022, so when I was at my last job, and then, hey, stop. And it's been like 2.5 years, I think. And like, it suited me, don't get me wrong, and it was fun to try. But I'm over not having hair, and for the last year, I did intend to grow it out, and I tried to grow it out. But in having those manic episodes, led me to constantly bleach and cut my hair like every 5 minutes. And so that really destroyed my chances of growing it out. And I think it's just because I was somewhere that was unhealthy for my mind and somewhere that I couldn't flourish. You know what I mean? And so being where I am now, oh my God, I'm going to have to blur that out. There's like porn on my walls. Being where I am now, I need to sneeze. Okay. Being where I am now, I feel, I guess, stable is the word, mentally and, in life. And so I feel more comfortable with not needing to change my hair because I don't have that need right now. And I look in the mirror now and I see pink hair and I think that's me. Like, that's who I am. And I know that everyone else associates me with the color pink, and it is me, right? Sometimes I think I just lose that. And I think it was in a response to, obviously, what I had experienced previously. And it was a bit of a long journey coming back. And then I saw this, was it a meme? I don't know if it was a meme, but I saw this picture a few months ago that it said, wishing you a safe journey back to yourself. And for some reason that stuck with me. And then, so at work, we have like this little employee board where we have like Polaroids of everyone. And there's a few of me because I change my hair a lot. And there's one of me with black hair and there's one of me with pink hair. And I was like, good Larry and evil Larry, if you know, like the Larry Cat memes. But I happened to see the Safe Journey picture, I think around the time where I noticed that I had two pictures. And I looked at them both and then I eventually posted it on Instagram and I was like, wow, very Lydia, wow, that's beautiful. Where like I had the black hair and then like I saw the picture and then it's like the pink hair. So like safe journey back to myself. And I feel like that resonated with me, as corny as it sounds. I feel like I did have a journey back to myself, and I wouldn't say 100,000% there, but I'm almost there. With my hair growing back out, I feel more myself than I ever have since I cut my hair, at least. And I'm working back towards my little mullet that I had like 3 or 4 years ago. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep growing all of my hair out, and I'm not gonna cut it until it's like the length that I want it for the cut, and then I'm gonna like shave the sides and cut the rest. But we've still got a few months to go. But otherwise, I'm pleasantly happy with where we are, and we're at 16 minutes of film now. But I'm pleasantly happy with where we're at, where I am at, mentally, as well as everything else. And so I'm reintegrating with all my friend groups. I'm going out again. I'm dressing comfortably the way that I normally dress. And if I'm honest, I look at pictures from my Instagram from like 3 or 4 years ago, back in like 2021, 2022, and I'm like, that's the person I want to get back to, because something changed that led me to buzz all my hair off. And look, the look was cool, but like something had changed and I felt different. And whatever I was going through, I think is over now, and I'm back to, maybe not back to that person, but I'm a grown version of that person, but I really liked, at least mentally and like physically, where I was. And so I'm looking forward to that, but like a 2.0, if that makes sense. So I'm very excited for that. Updates on this year are, we have Katy Perry in about 6 weeks. That is a very interesting topic right now. I have never said this before, but I did consider selling my tickets because I love her. But there's a lot going on with her right now, and it's very controversial, and it's very, she's made some bad decisions, some very bad mistakes. But you know what? I'm going to go to the show anyway because, like, I don't want to miss out. I like going to concerts, and then, and then we have the Mayhem Ball in December, which I'm extremely excited for, and it's been like 11 years since she was here, and so I'm very excited for that. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. I'm at on like nearly 20 minutes. But yes, I'm enjoying where we are. There is enough space in this room alone, which is my bedroom, but like our room, if that makes sense. Luke's side of the bed, Luke's desk, the bedside table, everything else is mine. He has his own room, but this room has enough space for all my hobbies. Like I have my computer desk over here, all my little display figures, my little cute mirror setup that lights up. I've got like a chair in the corner. I have my posters all over the walls. I've got like my vinyl player right in front of me here. I've got all my music and CDs and like magazines and vinyls and my Hannah Montana stuff on the wall here. Stuffed toys across the wall. I have my dolls up there, and I have my entire like Lego stage set up again, which is chef's kiss. Room for my costumes that are put away in a suitcase. There's like a huge walk-in wardrobe. I really can't ask for much more, and like, to be honest, this would have been impossible to find in the city, and I realize that, and I'm happy with where we are. I will do a room tour for sure. Anyway, this one singular video is at 20 minutes, and I really don't want to go any longer because my phone is already like dying and I have to respond to texts. So I'm going to cut that for now.